welcome to A Year of Career, 52 Practical Answers to Your Questions. I'm Erin Wolfram. I own and operate Career Advantage and Career Advantage Golf, where I help professionals feel more confident and prepared throughout their job search by helping with resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn profiles, mock interviews, really just anything job search related. And every week in this podcast, I answer one question from the public. And this week's question is, should I use an online template to create my resume? And this happens to be the 52nd episode of A Year of Career, so it's going to be the last episode. So I will go ahead and dive right in to answer this final question. So you will see a lot of resume templates out there online. If you Google or do an online search for resume templates, you will get hundreds of thousands of resume templates. And I recommend that you do not use a resume template when creating your resume. You could certainly look at those just to get some inspiration, try to figure out how you might want to format your resume. That could certainly be helpful, especially if you feel like one of your strengths is not, formatting things very well, or you just have no idea how to even get started. So I think looking at them for inspiration could be valuable. But as far as actually creating your resume, I recommend just using a blank document, starting with a blank document. And the reason that I recommend that is those templates online, while they may look really nice, first of all, they're not tailored to your specific experiences and qualifications. So you may find that you can't find a template that really has the sections and headings that you want. But more importantly, a lot of times those templates use a lot of formatting features like tables and columns and things like that. And tables and columns actually are not applicant tracking system friendly. You'll also see applicant tracking systems known as ATS, that's the acronym. And when a lot of large companies use ATS, they are not able, those systems are not able to read resumes that are created with those templates because they use tables and columns. So you really want to make sure that your resume is legible by an ATS. So you just never know if an ATS is going to be used. So I always recommend making sure that your resume is ATS compliant whenever possible. So another reason that I recommend not using a template is a lot of times they can be really frustrating to use. So you don't know the formatting that was used to create that template. Yes, you can certainly look at it and try to figure it out, but I have found that a lot of times there's some strange spacing, there's some strange formatting that can just get really frustrating. And you might be able to figure it out and do just fine when you initially create your resume, but it may be a little bit more difficult when you go back to try to add more content or to make updates or changes as you progress in your career and have more experience to add. So I think, if you've created the resume yourself from a blank document like I recommend, you know all the formatting. You know exactly what you did when you created that document. So when you go in to make changes, whether you need to delete content, add content, or a little bit of both, it'll be a lot easier for you and far less frustrating for you to make those changes in the future. So that is another one of the big reasons why I recommend that you should not use a template. The final thing that I'll mention is if you use one of those templates, it's highly likely that your resume is going to look like a lot of other people's resumes. So you want to stand out, you want to be unique, you want your resume to be yours and represent you as well as possible and not look like everyone else's. So if you're using one of those templates, chances are a lot of other people have chosen that same template. In fact, I have seen so many resumes with this one specific template that every time I see it, I kind of cringe because I think, wow, I have seen this so many times. And so, you might be thinking that you've picked a unique template that no one else is going to use, and it looks really great, but it's highly likely that a lot of other people have selected that same template, and then your resume is going to look like theirs. So start with a blank document. make your resume truly unique to you. And if that's something that you struggle with, ask a friend or family member to help, or you can find someone like me, a career coach or resume writer, who can assist with that as well. So just in short, I recommend not using a template. Start with a blank document, and ultimately you'll be a lot happier in the end. If you have any questions about resumes or anything else job search related, you can always check out my websites at careeradvantageresumes.com and careeradvantagegolf.com. I'm also on social media on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. It's at Career Advantage Resumes, and on Twitter, it's at Advantage Career. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year.